Welcome to the Remember Your Nature podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to talk about what I'm going to talk about today because I have been feeling so good in my body lately and have been coming to such profound realizations that I'm super excited to share because I really feel like they'll be really beneficial for you to be able to see yourself in an accurate and true light, which is divine and perfect and whole and complete. But as the title of this podcast names and shows, I'm going to be talking about how internalized shame has affected my relationship with my body and has influenced my fitness journey. And I've been on a fitness journey for many years now. And where I am currently is feeling really strong and secure. I feel the strongest I have ever in my life. I feel the clearest I have ever in my life. I have the best relationship with food I have ever in my life. And I feel really in tune with my muscular system. I feel really intuitively connected, like deeply and intimately connected to all of the various parts of my body, and that just continues to deepen. But I'm very aware of where energy and stories live inside of my body. And I am feeling a just growing sense of profound respect and awe and wonder towards my body, and really unlocking as well what it feels like to live a sensual, sensuous life, deeply connected to my body and not suppressing anything, but allowing myself to fully embody all of my feelings, all of my emotions, like all of the things. And I was thinking about internalized shame because I had a moment of looking at myself in the mirror, and I've looked at myself in the mirror my entire life with many of the same stories. And I had this moment of realization that what if it was never about you? Like looking at my body and noticing all the stories of this should be changed and this is wrong and this person isn't going to like what this looks like and you need to sculpt this or do that or flatten that, or but then taking a step back and looking and saying, well, what if it was never about my body? What if my body actually has nothing to do with it? And what if these stories and these feelings that I'm feeling towards my physical vessel are just a result of faulty cognition, of a mirror that hasn't been cleaned in a long fucking time? What if all of that is just distorted perception, noise, and static? And what would it feel like to embody and to know that I am completely whole and perfect just as I am? Not even that. I'm gorgeous. I am juicy. I am the erotic stuff of life. I am the temple. I am the house of God. I am all of the things. And I'm just this fluctuating physical being that is just so deserving of love and respect, just as I am. And also that I'm really not it. I am really not it. And I've really been limiting myself in this identification with this physical body, and not even limiting myself, but limiting how I am able to see other people, to see their light, to see their value, to see their love. I have 100% limited my ability to see someone else's value, put their value down because of what they look like. And that doesn't say anything about me. That just says that there's faulty cognition. that there is a mirror that needs to be cleansed. And so I want to talk about why. Why, as women especially, are we so identified with our physical bodies and we place so much importance and value and overemphasis of value on what we physically look like and how other people perceive us? Now, I would like to say that this is a universal experience, it seems, this identification with the physical body and just feeling like you're chronically wrong and chronically unworthy. So that's not new, and it happens in men and women and all of the beings on the spectrum. But I was looking at an article that I found in the AMA Journal of Ethics, written by Nealie Tango, which I'll link in the show notes. But it really opened my eyes to further understand, why am I having all these thoughts about my body? That like I'm really wanting men to like really find me desirable. And when I get in romantic partnerships, I am just like really wanting to be what they want me to be, what they want me to look like. And really like seeing, yeah, we'll get more on that later. But she was speaking about, or they were speaking about, I don't know, Nealie. Nealie was speaking about that historically, when we live in a society that is dominated by men, and when we live in this kind of society, this is chronically disempowering women. And not even chronically disempowering women, but like her survival, her ability to like be okay and live was dependent upon whether she could fit into a mold, that she could be something so that a man would take care of her, because we needed men to take care of us in a very profound survival sense, like in a very obvious sense. We couldn't provide for ourselves. Like our survival was dependent upon whether we had a husband or not. That's how serious it was. And so throughout time and history, women have learned that our sense of power lives in our body. It lives in whether a man finds us desirable or not. And it's so deeply ingrained into our psyche and into the memory of our bodies, because we were so afraid of not fucking surviving. So, of course, it became so important. And we learned through our mothers to mold and shape ourselves, to change ourselves, to learn how to shame and hate different parts of ourselves that weren't deemed as societally attractive or normal, because it meant our survival. And so we're still operating out of that paradigm. There is still that residue that lives in our current reality. But in our current reality, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. So many women before us have done so much so that we can have the freedom and the rights to be able to live the life that we do in this modern, Western, industrialized society and culture. And so now our lives are not dependent on having a husband. There's actually a lot more nuance and freedom and complexity that we can live with. And we're not going to die because of it, or we're not going to not eat or have a shelter over our head or make sure that our children are going to be good. There is so much more opportunity for sovereignty and opportunity and freedom here. And so this is what I'm most interested in, is understanding how to tinker those faulty perceptions and distortions to be able to see ourselves for what we truly are. Which in my embodied spiritual experience, I know that I am the energy of the universe, that I am the energy of God, that I hold so much depth and beauty and love that I am quite literally a walking blessing on the earth. And we are all that. We are all that. Because when we show up in that love, it is undeniable the way that we shift and the way that we bring healing and medicine just through being, because we are just fucking vibrating. And that is so much more important and valuable than our physical bodies. And we get to love. We get to love our physical bodies. Our physical bodies are our connection between heaven and earth, how I like to think about it. And our physical bodies hold so much capacity for beauty and for pleasure. And our physical bodies are telling us exactly what we need to do and is giving us all of the information that we need through our intuition, through the sensations, to find the hidden order of the universe. And so our physical bodies are also doing everything in their power to heal us and to show us when we are not aligned and when we are walking in a way that is not life-serving. And it is doing all of that. And so for me, when I fully recognize and realize that, I'm like, oh, what I look like literally doesn't fucking matter at all. And I also feel that when you really connect to that, you start to fight for your body. You start to prioritize, wow, my body is so important and it is so valuable, and it is literally like my ability to either experience hell or heaven. And I have the ability to take care of it and to really listen to it and to clear out the noise so that I can become really intimate with the goodness and the beauty that my body is trying to give to me. And so naturally, when you realize and embody that understanding, you take care of yourself. You fix your posture. You stand up taller and stronger. You detox your body. You are intentional because you're also, as you increase sensation, you start to increase your ability to resonate. So you resonate with different foods, you resonate with different people. You naturally start to resonate with places and things, and you start to make contact with the world in a way that's authentic and that's based in feeling and is based in magnetism and based in excitement and attraction and aversion. But you can only access that when you start to connect to your body. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, Faith, you are literally this incredible human being who has worked so hard on herself to just live authentically and to experience life in the way that God intended. And you're looking at yourself and you're like, oh, like my belly or my cellulite, and it just makes so much sense. But I'm like, oh, that is shame. That is internalized shame. That is internalized shame. And that was really profound because it gave me space of like all of those stories, which I thought that I was fully identified with, that like I am literally not worthy of love or being desired because of these specific physical traits of my biological body. And when I recognize that, oh, that's just internalized shame, it's like, so that might mean that I have space from that, and that's not actually me. And there's actually room for a new story and a new truth and a new understanding and a new embodiment, which is I'm just a human being with a body that looks a certain way. Okay. And it's really subtle too, how internalized shame comes up. I was in a intimate partnership or an intimate relationship with someone, and I attracted someone that was feeding my pain. Parts of them were feeding my pain, which was I am ugly, I am unworthy, and I am not I am not deserving of someone that can see me in my wholeness and my fullness. That's the unconscious stuff that I was operating out of. And with so much love and compassion. All this is just love and compassion because it just makes so much sense. We have to just go through it to be able to shift it and heal it. If we never got triggered, then we would never be able to shift it and heal it. But their reflection of me made me continue to feel like there was something that was wrong and broken about me because of my physical appearance. And I feel some hesitation in feeling into what parts of this story are true and what parts are worth sharing because I created this situation for myself. Like, I needed to be in the situation where I would be with someone that would judge me and criticize my physical body and be triggered in that way. Growing up overweight is really a mind fuck because you're literally a child and living in a culture that has all of these standards and ideals, and also moving off of the collective unconsciousness of that our power is our bodies and that we need to make sure that other people find them beautiful and attractive for our sense of power. And living in this culture with so much noise and distraction, as well as chemical and processed food. And for me, I had chronic asthma, so I felt really disempowered and afraid in my body. Learned how to cope with that through food, so I became overweight as a child. And that created a chronic inflammatory response around eating. I started to develop a relationship with food where I looked at it and I would think, okay, is this going to make me fat or not? So I would judge it based on what it would physically do to my physical body, with, of course, like no awareness about nutritional value or anything like that. And I would actually like to read a excerpt I wrote when I was 16 years old that I just found in my old room in my house. My insecurity plagues me. This is April 21st, 2018. Constantly, I feel not good enough. I feel like nothing I do is impactful or substantial. I feel like there are many people who can do, quite literally, anything better than me. I never feel good enough when communicating with others that I like and admire. I always feel like I'm being pitied and always fall short of what I want to say and sharing my character well. I constantly feel unwanted, even though they tell me that's not true. The feeling never leaves. And my main feeling, despite it being so fucking vain, I feel like my unconventional fatness makes me undesirable and unlovable. I feel ugly and disfigured, and regularly avoid mirrors and pictures because of it. People call me beautiful, but it is not in the way that I desire. I know. So fucking vain. I constantly compare myself to other, thinner women and see that what guys I like are into are not me. One guy in particular. I wonder who that person was. I know. Very down with the patriarchy of me. Maybe it's because I'm still in high school and full of fucking teen angst, and I'm stuck in a society which makes this stupid thing important to me. But it completely plagues my life. But there are times when I realize we're floating on a rock in an infinite space, and my appearance seems like such an insignificant and stupid thing to worry about. I relish those moments. I look at the moon and take her in. We are both just floating. My high school girl, my adolescent girl especially, man, that girl just wanted to be loved. That girl just wanted to be seen. She wanted to be affirmed. She wanted to be affirmed that she had value, taking up space, that she could just be who she was and be loved for it, That's all that she wanted. But she was constantly affirmed and reflected by others and not by their own fault, but through this collective delusion and all of these external forces that she's fat and ugly and that's unfortunate and that she isn't deserving of love. She isn't deserving of feeling so respected and devoted to because of what she looks like. So, to be able to shift that and heal that, I needed to attract another being that would feed into that so that I could really look at it and understand and really see that I just felt like I didn't have the power, that I did not have the power to choose love for me. I thought that that sense of love and validation had to live outside of me, that I had to have a masculine presence specifically to look at me and to deem me as worthy and lovable. And it's really interesting because I love feeling strong and fit. I fucking love having a strong muscular system, to be able to move and walk and dance and cartwheel and handstand and climb rocks and feel strong and supported and balanced in all of it. I love feeling deeply connected to and in tune with my physical body. It feels so good. It feels so good to be detoxed from chronic candida. I do not have asthmatic symptoms anymore. I do not take medications. I have a deep and profound intuitive relationship with my physical body. I feel completely confident in my ability to heal myself and completely in devotion to what my body is telling me. And that is only through having discipline and sitting with my body for years, day in and day out, and learning how to work with it in a balanced, loving, and conscious manner. And I am not going to lie, it feels really good to be strong and to look at myself in the mirror and see the work that I've been putting in. I love being a strong, muscular woman. I really fucking do. I love having strong ass glutes, looking in the mirror, seeing my like fucking biceps and triceps. Are you kidding? Like that feels so good. That feels so good. And the issue arises, I feel, when I become attached. When I become attached to any one way that my body is. Right now, I'm in my follicular phase and I'm starting to build up my muscles again. So I'm starting to have more muscle tone. I naturally have a taller posture. I naturally feel more supported and in a healthy ego because this is the natural power of this upswing in my hormones and where I am in my cycle. However, when I am bleeding, like my last bleed, I just bled for 5 days and I was home alone. I wasn't working. I completely rested, didn't exercise. I maybe went on some walks, maybe did some Tai Chi, but really no muscle engagement to allow my muscles to just rest. And so my posture was more collapsed. My belly was more relaxed, lower muscle tone. But now I see that there's so much power in that embodiment as well. And if I attach myself to just being the summer version of me, to just being the fit, only eating fruit and living in Costa Rica and being super physical and walking, and if I only love that part of myself, then I am so cutting off so much of my wholeness. And I have done that so much. Where in my fitness journey, I would get to these points of feeling like super strong and super fit and eating very well. But then I would become attached to it when naturally my body needs to change. My body needs to shift. My muscles need to rest. My muscle tone goes down. I feel bloated. All of the things. And so, what if there was really just nothing wrong with us or our bodies? There is nothing that we need to change to be able to be whole and complete and deserving of love and respect and honoring. And the body is always changing. However, that does not mean that being fit and healthy in body, mind, and spirit is one of the best things that we can do for humanity. Truly. Being in tune with our bodies means being truthful with ourselves. It means being able to have the strength and the wisdom enough to be able to look inside. And so I do believe, and I'm a huge proponent of physical fitness, but if you're moving from a place of shame, it's never going to be sustainable. And I can truly say now, after so many years, that I move and I eat well and I rest when I'm bleeding and I roll out my muscles and I dance and I go for walks, not because I need to shame myself into doing it, because I need to lose weight, because I need to be okay. I need to be worthy of taking up space. I need to be loved because I don't know how to source that from myself. But I do that because it feels amazing, because it fills me with joy, because I love to dance, because I love to sing, because I love what it feels like to be able to use my muscles to speak with authority. I love what it feels like to be so in tune with my body that I feel so resilient and I feel so flexible and adept at facing life's challenges and knowing that I can overcome them and face stress positively because I am in my body. Because my body has shown me that it has the capacity, and therefore I have the capacity because I am just a nervous system. And I feel like this is really important too. Working the physical body is so important for nervous system regulation and learning what it is that your nervous system is needing from you and what physical, grounded, tangible actions you can take to be able to regulate. And now I am learning how to just be at peace and in awe with the process of my body. To just learn how to appreciate whatever stage and whatever season that it's in. And not even just my body, but also opening to the way and becoming attuned to the way my body is interacting with the world. Because if we do not talk about this, if we do not take into consideration how our body is responding to the world, we are just going to be stuck in our little isolated, individualistic cages and we're going to be missing so much. This is why I really love Ayurveda, because for me, how I understand Ayurveda, it's understanding how to regulate your own system with the systems of the external world, with the natural world, with the elements, to be able to connect to God consciousness. We need to regulate ourselves and our bodies with our immediate environment, with the environment around us. And there's so much information outside of ourselves. We are just one big system interacting with the world. And so not only am I at peace with my physical body, but I'm at peace and in such curiosity with the way I can work with my physical body to harmonize and to be in right relationship with my immediate external environment, the external body, if you will. So this could mean how foods, how weather, how other people, other energy, because it's all just external energy. It's all energy. So, how is my energy interacting with the energy outside of me? You know? And now I'm also learning, okay, what does it mean that It's not about my body. And actually, all of these stories about my body, especially when I am with intimate partners, are just not real. Not real. And I'm actually deserving of all of the beauty and the pleasure that this body gives me. You know what that means? I can have a good ass fucking time and not worry about what I physically look like. And this is the new revolution for me. As I also discern partners who are so skillful in their ability to remain unbiased and unjudgmental in present awareness. Because then, when I fully acknowledge my value and my worth from the inside out, I will only attract people and partners that will do the same. Now, before, I was vibrating at a level that I am unconsciously not worthy because of how I physically look like. So this is an exciting an exciting journey that I'm on of okay, I'm deeply valued, I'm deeply loved. Now what does it feel like to be deeply fucking pleasured? So I'd like to offer that in this journey as well of fitness is the ability to unlock the most profound sense of beauty and enjoyment and delight in life, which is also our birthright and which is also what God intended. And so I'm going to continue eating well, eating the foods that resonate with me. And like yesterday, I went to this Syrian restaurant and ate some like fried falafel, which was so good. And I went to the bathroom and I was like, look, Faith, you ate something fried and you didn't die. And like learning how to enjoy food and just listen to my body. And then last night I made like a steak salad, and I was feeling really nauseous from all of like the sweets and all the stuff that happened that day, and I just didn't eat dinner because I was like, even though I made this, I feel like I'm going to throw up, and if I eat it, then I'm going to feel even more sick. So trusting that too, and trusting that if I eat too much, or if I gain some weight during a season, or if I lose some weight during a season, or I'm feeling really strong and muscled here, or I'm feeling really low muscle tone and tense here, it'll change. All of it is just changing sensations. And if I base my sense of worth and identity and value on any one way that my body is, I am going to fucking suffer. And I'm going to be so cut off from love, which is really consequential because it inhibits me from showing up in love in the world. Now, if I'm fully in love and at peace with myself, then I show up in the world in my full power because I'm able to look at other people and to see them exactly as they are, which is whole and complete children of God, which is whole and complete universal energy, which is God. And so it really is that important for us to learn how to love ourselves and to get ourselves out of our mind and to recognize what we really are, which is something so much deeper and profound than anything we've ever been taught or told. And so some physical practices I would like to offer that's been helpful for me. Look at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself in the eyes. Now, first, when you're on this journey and maybe becoming curious of how do I become in right relationship with my physical body, become aware of the stories. First step, awareness. Look at yourself in the mirror first and just notice, okay, look at all the stories. Are they really old? Have you been telling yourself these stories for years without any shame? Just be your own researcher and experimenter. Look at it. And look at it so truthfully. Maybe write down those stories. Just become aware without a need to change or shift it. There's actually a lot of really powerful information there. I realized that I would be looking at like my stomach, my belly in the mirror naked. And I was realizing I'm looking at my sacral chakra. I'm like, all these stories of shame are coming up and I'm like looking at my sacral chakra. It's a different energy when I look at my heart. It's a different energy when I'm looking at my third eye. Now, to be able to really see yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, look in the left eye. Allow yourself to look in the left eye and to allow the thoughts to dissolve a bit, to dissipate. Get out of the mind. Allow the mind to just calm and quiet and center. Now, this could take years to be able to come to full presence with yourself. So be patient. It takes time and intention and work, but keep the intention there. And just become aware of your own energy. And if you want to shift the stories around your body and your physical appearance, and not even that, but in the way that you show up in the world, I started to look at myself in the eyes and see my fucking power and authority. And to see how much I actually deeply respect myself and deeply love myself. And when I notice myself look at my body and think of those stories, I can lovingly, with a calm nervous system, breathe that energy up, come back to my eyes and see, I see you. Now, when I go out into the world, I'm looking at people in their eyes. I'm going way beyond the judgment. I'm having actually to move, we have to move through the judgment to be able to really see people. But we can't get stuck in the judgment. If you have judgments of other people, that's really fucking normal. That is normal. We have to go through that. Even Jesus had to face his own judgments towards other people, but he always came out in love and seeing clearly. Judgment is something that is so normal and so human. It doesn't make you a bad person, but if you start to treat someone else based on that distorted perception, you are really cutting yourself off from building unity and harmony and healing and medicine by creating a energetic bridge of love. If you do not create an energetic bridge of love with yourself now, you will not be able to go out into the world and do it. That is why it's so consequential and so fucking important. You are that important and you are that impactful. So I'm looking at people in their eyes now. And not even that, I am seeing how fucking beautiful people are. So beautiful with the way that they choose to express themselves. I saw this beautiful older woman with this short gray hair, and she had this coral lipstick on, and it was just a vibe, And you really start to see people for their wholeness, not just these compartmentalized different parts of themselves that you want to see, because you can only see yourself from that disjointed way. I'm starting to see myself in my wholeness, in my beauty, in my power, and that is such a revolution because I have space to be able to see others in that light too. And I'm not trying to get something from myself. I'm just allowing myself to be as I am. And so therefore I'm going out into the world and I'm not trying to get something from someone. And when I notice that I am doing that, I have the ability to shift, the pattern within myself so that I can see that other person clearly and continue to align with the Tao, with the way, with the hidden order of the universe. That is how powerful it is to see yourself clearly, to see things as they really are. And so I would not change any of it. I need to constantly be triggered to be able to move through. And I am grateful for all the experiences where I've been projected upon that have given me the opportunity to look within myself and to know the real truth and to stay rooted in my own trunk, rooted in the earth. That which is unmovable, unshakable, unchangeable. My own authority and connection to God, my own value and my own worth. And I'm going to go out into the world and allow my body to change, allow myself to age, allow myself to go through my seasons and still choose love. Because that is a power that can never be taken away from me and can never be taken away from you. That you have the ability to feel that sovereign, that autonomous, and that free, that you are. It just takes the clearing and the cleansing and the work and the feeling, the courage to face the fear, to shift the pattern, to be able to embody it now. I love you. I love you. I love you. We're doing it. Don't give up. The only way that you fail is if you give up. Okay? You're not alone. Reach out. There are so many resources for you to be loved and to feel supported. You are not alone, I promise you. All right. Much love. Thank you for listening. I deeply appreciate it. Deeply, deeply, deeply. May it be a blessing.